everyone, welcome to another Scryfall Shenanigans. And this is another single card episode where we start with a single card. Usually I find these by just clicking on the random card feature in Scryfall until I get a card that just speaks to me in some way, and that's exactly what happened here. It spoke to me. I don't know if that's speaking good things or bad things, but we'll see. That's part of the fun of this. So we'll look at the original text and then we'll look at how it's been errated. We'll look at the different versions and then we'll go down the usual sort of rabbit holes and interesting asides. So Armageddon Clock, 6 to cast. And you can see here it's originally from Antiquities. It's been reprinted, handful, if that number of times. So we had it in revised edition and 4th edition. There's also a couple of sort of special ones like the Summer Magic and the 4th edition Foreign Border version and the Foreign Black Border. And then it did crop up as Masters Edition 5 when they went through and sort of plundered really early Magic sets and put them into like a draftable series of Masters editions, because Masters now I suppose has a different meaning for a lot of people in terms of what goes into it, but it was really just a way of taking early Magic cards that hadn't been released as part of the ongoing Magic the Gathering Online release schedule or retrospective, filling in and just collecting them together in these Masters editions. So yeah, it was in this one, Masters Edition 5. That's why there's only a ticks value here. So put 1 counter on Armageddon Clock during each of your upkeeps. At the end of your upkeep, each player takes damage equal to the number of counters on the clock. Notice it's each player. So each player takes damage equal to the number of counters on the clock. Any player may spend 4 during any upkeep to remove a counter. And just looking at the card again, I don't know when I first noticed this, but you get this really nice mottling on these old cards with antiques. With antiques. With artifacts. This is something called a continuous artifact as well, back when they sort of differentiated. And if we look at the errata text, so yep, it's an artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a doom counter. So it specifically now mentions doom counters. At the beginning of your draw step, this artifact deals damage equal to the number of doom counters on it to each player. 4. Remove a doom counter from this artifact. Any player may activate this ability, but only during any upkeep step. Now, I'm not by any means an expert on, whatever you want to call it, like different phases in Magic. I have trouble getting my head around some of them, but you can sort of see they've slightly changed the wording of this second bit. So originally it said at the end of your upkeep, and here it says at the beginning of your draw step. Now at some point, and again someone can enlighten me, there's obviously a reason why they've done that. I don't know whether they didn't just like the wording and wanted to move it so it was the beginning of the draw step. Yeah, but anyway, so there is a difference here and here. And then this bit, so 4, remove a doom counter from this artifact. Any player may activate this ability, but only during any upkeep step. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we have these doom counters. So we'll see if one interesting thing to look at is see if anything else has doom counters. Let us zoom in on the artwork. There you go. and also just have a look at the different versions. You can see all the same artwork, just different shades. I was curious actually, so at no point in time is there an in-paper version of this that has the, so yeah, the only one, what's this? This is 4th edition. Does that have closer to the errata text? That still says at the end of the upkeep, yeah. So here you can see it's sort of fully split down. So this was the one that went out in Mastered Edition. And to be honest with you, I can't remember when Mastered Edition, what would that be, 4? Yeah, Mastered Edition 4 was released on Magic the Gathering Online. It's a number of years. Oh, hang on. Sometimes we get a clue from this. So, yeah, 2011 or thereabouts. So, yeah. Really? Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Aesthetic counter. Okay. Activated ability. Any player ability counters matter. So I did prep up a few rabbit holes before I sort of started this up, and one that I did literally just before recording this video, so I'll have a look at that as well. So this any player ability, so when was it first seen? So if Biff Freet flying, well, if Biff Freet is in play, any player can pay green to have if Biff Freet do 1 damage to each player and each flying creature in play. This ability does not tap the if Biff Freet and can be used as soon as it is successfully summoned. Oh yeah, makes sense on a Mercenaries card. Land's Edge. It's interesting as well with enchantments, you know, like this where you've got continuous artifact, you've got Enchant World from back then. Oh yes, the Mungers. Right. Yeah, the cycle of... Was it the whole cycle or just... Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's the red. Oh, yeah, there's the green one. Okay. It just happens that in Macadian Master there are a whole load of red, several red creatures by the look of things that you could, any player could activate an ability. They don't have Fishmonger, do they? Wishmonger, Sailmonger, Scandalmonger, Warmonger, Schoolmonger. So what Fishmonger would have gone in blue, I suppose, if it had indeed been a thing. Saproling Cluster. Mana Cache. There's Excavation. Sacrifice a land, draw a card. Any player may play this ability. Okay. Wasn't there a... I was going to say, I'm just thinking, yeah, there's a legendary creature, isn't there, with a any player ability on it, which is Zancha. What's this one from then? Oh, Commander 2018. I would have this deck. So 1 black-red. I have to dig this out, actually. Take a look. As Zancha Sleep Agent enters the battlefield, an opponent of your choice gains control of it. Zancha attacks each combat fable and can't attack its owner or planeswalker its owner controls. 3. Zancha's controller loses 2 life and you draw a card. Any player may activate this ability. Is that the only legendary? I know there's cards where you sort of, the ownership can sort of bounce around in some way, but this is specifically, you know, has access to things or certain parts of it all the time. First skills of Ravnica. Sort of thing you might expect in Conspiracy as well. Put a plot count on deadly designs. Any player may activate this ability. When there are 5 or more plot counters on deadly designs, sacrifice it. If you do, destroy up to 2 target creatures. I mean, it was on that as well. Feral Hydra from Shards of Alara. Looking forward to digging out some shard stuff actually as part of the 15 cards episode. Definitely those sort of all foil from that block. Yeah. Oh, this Lightning Storm from Cold Snap. That's an interesting set. I mean, some weird stuff in there because they were trying to obviously relate it to the abilities that would have been around at the time of Ice Age and would it be Alliances? Yeah, it's interesting to see sort of an old school template applied on a modern a modern environment. It's pretty nightmarish. Now, Endbringer's Revel. That's got me curious now. Let me not. And there's a card, isn't there, with Endbringer. You never know where you're going to go with these. That's it. I knew it. I was trying to think because that sort of reminded me of that. So Uka, Endbringer is that 5/2 black 5/5. Cannot attack if there is another creature in play. During your upkeep, lose 3 life. Remove target creature from the game. Counter. Graveyard to its owner's hand. Any player may play this ability, but only any time he or she could play a sorcery. Interesting. And we've got Endbringer. Each other players on tap step. Tap Endbringer deals on damage. Target. Colourless tap. Target creature can't attack or block this turn. 2 colourless. Draw a card. Yep. 150 decks, okay. What is that? Is it even going to be attempting an average deck here? An average budget deck. There you go. Oh, we have an assassin in here. Oh, that's a pretty grim deck. Nice mono black stuff in here actually. Does it have... Oh, what's that card I'm thinking of? Yeah, I don't see any other. Oh, there's mono... Yeah, I was just wondering what sort of mono black planeswalkers or other legendaries might be good in here. It's got a Caged Sun. And it's like, oh wow, some interesting stuff in here. A bit of a challenge. Okay. Right. Imagine this is much more popular, well, relatively speaking. Similar commanders is gonna. Well, this is really an interesting super rabbit hole we're going down. Oh, Alicia deck. We have really gone off on a tangent now. Oh, Teneb. I'm just randomly clicking now. Oh, there we go, Mirren. There we go, Mirren. Budget. Average deck. I just like looking at the average decks on here because it's nice. You get so many like classic things. What do we see? That's just so much stuff, isn't it? Rise of the Witch King. Newer card. It's Gary again. Yeah. Lots of classic green stuff in here. It's a bit of a... Oh, we got Buried Alive, haven't we? I don't know, is there any... Sometimes in these decks you get like dredge cropping up. I don't know if this would be... You'd be able to lean into that or not. Bit of dredge shenanigans. I'm trying to remember the key. What is it? Golgari. What's that? Dredge card. Don't think it's here. Yeah. There's a mono black one as well that crops up quite a bit. I don't even know if that's even gonna... We got a Merrin Dredge average deck. Oh, there we go. Golgari, that was it. That was the one I was trying to think of. Golgari Grave Troll. And then we've got Golgari Thug. Wasn't there a Stinkweed Imp? That was trying to think of. I'm thinking there was something there, an imp or a bat, which has dredge on it. Although with this, I think, yeah, this is quite a high cognitive load sometimes. Okay, we certainly went off on a bit of a tangent there. Let's have a look at yeah, counters matter here. So it's quite a number, and what was funny about this and triggered off the extra side quest, if you like, was when I saw this. This immediately made me think of another scavenger, or something with scavenger in the title. But before we go off down a scavenge route, let's just have a quick look here, because we've got tons of stuff here that care about counters. There's Rasputin Dreamweaver. So I'm always curious as to how many of these Legends cards ended up getting printed in Chronicles, because, you know, if they've never been printed again, then obviously they can be, you know, fairly pricey for what they are. But if they end up in Chronicles, then the Chronicles version is normally pretty reasonable. Oh, the batteries. Voodoo doll, wow. Oh, of course, all the older Thalids. Wow, yeah, all that spore counter business. Spore counter sapling token shenanigans. Oh, wow, and we got all these. Oh, Peruvian. There's Time Bomb. Ice Cauldron. 178. Look at the verbiage on that. Like, you look, it does what? Exactly. Yeah, it does what exactly? Interfact bottle. Corrosion. Magma Mine. We've got one of these cards that was from the Astral cards from that game. Necropolis of Azar. No, they would have, yeah, only been there. Whenever a non-black creature is put into any graveyard play, put a husk counter on Necropolis of Azar. 5, remove a husk counter. Put a Spawn of Azar token into play. Treat this token as a black creature with a rounded power and toughness, each no less than 1 and no greater than 3. That has Swamp Ball. Yeah, see, they should just print these in paper. Just for fun. There's only 12 of them. What harm could it do? Is there anything similar to that at all? I mean, printed token. Yeah. Chandelier, that was the name of the game I was trying to think of. Chandelier. Who would have thought we would have gone down a Chandelier rabbit hole? I think you can still, can't you still get hold of that online from somewhere in it? I don't know if it would still run on, you know, what systems it would run on. I mean, I'm assuming it would run in something like, what, DOSBox or something like that. I used to like that free game that Magic Woodsy gave away. You know, you could download from the website to teach you how to play Magic, and it sort of predates Jewels of the Planeswalker that came out, but it was similar-ish in some ways. That was quite fun to play around with. Pandora's Play X random fast effects. There, you can see why these are. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. Yeah. Fine in a digital game if you can sort of control that, but yeah, seriously out of hand. Yeah, so the aesthetic counter business, which was the other thing. Did I? Hang on, I've gone down so many side quests. Let me just check this. So we had any player ability, that's it. Then we were looking at stuff to do with, where's it gone? This one, which was, there was tons, wasn't there? This is counters matter. Oh, that's right, yeah. So the next one was an aesthetic counter, of which there are 239. So this has corpse counters on it here, and it was, I think, this one and the last one, although specifically this one, where, yeah, I also noticed this. So we'll see in a moment. I think you probably already guessed the card that I'm thinking of. Oh, Life Matrix. Matrix counters. What's the one? I don't know if it would be here. There's an interesting, massively sort of overcosted. You wouldn't want to play it, but does it generate something like prism counters? Something like that. Oh, yeah, depletion counters. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Divinity counters. Yeah, there's all sorts of interesting counters here. So there's a whole load of divinity counters there. These aren't unique, obviously, but they're aesthetic ones. Sometimes you might see searches in Magic where it's like, you know, unique counters. That's always pretty interesting. Whether they've only ever used that type of counter once on a card and never again. Yeah, back to the usual spore counters. What did these have? These were storage, okay. More spores. So yeah, you're going to see like there's lots of spore counters. Oh, wish counters. And these ones, the quest counter ones. Yeah. So the quests and the ascension and expedition. That was it. From Zendikar. Yeah. Of which we will be featuring at some point in some upcoming videos in various forms. Oh, there's Pyromancer's Ascension. Oh yeah, all of the, wow, yeah, now this really gives me the warm fuzzies. Oh yeah. Oh, that had all the Eon counters on it, didn't it? Yeah. Wow. What did Leech of the Tank have on it then? An Awakening counter. Oh, this makes me so happy seeing these. Wow, so those would be from, that's Worldwake, isn't it? Yeah. That was Healing Crucible. Magic 2013. Jar of Eyeballs with the, was that the eyeball counters? Yeah. Crucible the Spirit. Wow. Flood counters on Bounty of Luxor. What's Target's got on it? Is that an egg counter? Gold counter? Well, they're all here. Aesthetic counters. Slowbad. What's the most recent thing? Oh, there's some charge counters there. Fuse counters on pumpkin bombs. Spider-Man Eternal. Excalibur 2. Okay, so yeah, Scavenger Folk. Slightly more bulgy eyes than this fella. But yeah, so I just did scavenge so I could get scavenging and scavenger. I'm not quite sure whether they have some sort of commonality or not, and whether you would want to go with a scavenge themed deck if indeed you could do that. I mean, are we seeing something in each of the colours, in which case you just have to have some sort of Wooburg commander that either has utility or just acts as a totem and doesn't really do much else, just so you can play the colours. Are we devoid of any... Now white is here, isn't it? Because I think I saw a white-green card somewhere. Green's down there. No, there is a mono white card there. So it is all 5 colours. There you go, 5 colour scavenge. I don't know what sort of crazy synergies or other things you could end up doing. And scavenging ooze. Commander 2011. So, what was it in before that? Okay, so Commander 2011. Wow, okay. So it's a bit of a gap there then. I remember being in a core set, M14. What's this? Is this our Modern Masters? M21. Oh, here we've got one from Love Your LGS. Oh, that was the Jewels of the Planeswalker promo. Interesting. Remember those. Didn't you get a different one? Because I got some one year. I got several of them actually. Because there were different ones, I think, for different platforms. Some years. Whether or not you had the sort of, PlayStation 1, it was like a redemption code where you could take it along to your local game store and try and redeem it. Okay, EDHRec. Well, not in a lot of decks. Don't even know if it would appear in. So, if we're looking at utility artifacts, probably quite far down the list, I imagine. Generally. Ivory Tower. Is it if I go back to here, commanders. Oh, they don't have any combos listed here then. Similar cards. Iron Maiden, Braid of Fire, Howling Mine. The Rack, Black Rise. Lovely. And Cube Cobra. What have we got? Ooh. Number of classics here. There's Lightning Bolt. Interesting artwork. Nerona's Disc. Psychic Venom. Phantom Monster there, Drudge Skeletons. Interesting Lenore Elves artwork. Again, the synergistic suit. Oh wow, there's some interesting ones here. Wow. Zenic Poltergeist. Wood Paws. Oh, the Hive. 5 to cast, 5 tap, create a 1/1 colours insect artifact creature token with flying named Wasp. There's those black mana, there's those mana batteries again. Ashmod's Battle Gear. I've just had another one of those interesting sort of art flash back things where I sort of look at one piece and I think, oh, that remakes. And this makes me think of the band Voivod. A lot of the characters that were on had sort of very spiky looks to them. Oh, that's pretty grim. Some pretty grim visages here. And then also maybe to finish off, I did this at the last minute just to see if we got anything in here at all. So this, yeah. You going to come up for me? Oh, he's got a slaughter deck. And where is it? There we go. Armageddon Clock. Citadel of Pain, Copper Tablet, wow. Oh, that's cool space. Yeah, I tend to forget that's a, an older card. Like, I originally saw it. When was it? That one from Commander 2013. But yeah, way back from Urza's Legacy. And just suddenly turns up in a Commander product. And then there's the sort of Dominaria remastered versions as well. But yeah, probably, I can't remember if I did it last week, but I'm definitely going to take a look at MTG Top 8, because I was interested to see where these cards have ended up in decks if we don't get a feeling for that, looking at the other things. Wow. Word. Is that where the money is? Immolation Shaman. That's better. Don't have to click it quite so much, do we? Does this one, some of these don't always respond well to zooming in. That's not too bad. Okay. Seen worse. Novelborn Muse. Wow, winds of change. Single red, all players shuffle their hands into their libraries and then draw the same number of cards they originally held. Okay. Looks pretty disruptive. What's the commander again? Black, red, indestructible 7/5. As long as your devotion to black and red is less than 7 Mogus in the creature. The beginning of each opponent's upkeep Mogus does 2 damage to that player unless he or she sacrifices the creature. Okay, yeah, it's pretty disruptive then. Here we go, look. Look at all these ones where they're doing damage. Let's see here. Players can't gain life. Got pox in here. Wow. So you're definitely on a clock with this deck by the look of things. Because a lot of this is, across the board. Several cards in here across the board. Okay, well that was interesting. It's amazing where you can go with an Armageddon Clock. So thanks once again for watching. Bye for now. And I will catch you in a future episode.